stay female. So if you are for first-term abortions, you are killing all female babies at that point.
Listen,
now, I will move
ma'am,
on
I
to the
don't know
whole...
how true that is. I will look it up myself. I don't know how
Look
true
up
that is.
look up what month does babies get their gender. Look.
Okay,
Look
ma'am,
it up.
I will look it up. I really don't believe that I would ever do something that would ever
Okay, look
harm
it up.
any women.
Look it up. There's a reason why people can't tell the gender of their babies until a certain month, and that's because the default gender for babies are female. That's why men have nipples.
Ma'am,
Look-
I will look it up. I will see. I will look
Okay,
at
right
what you're
now,
saying.
go
But
for it.
again, you have to give me a moment. Okay, you need to understand. It's
You
just
have
that
a moment and you're
I
yapping.
do-
Go look it up.
just let me speak, ma'am. Just allow me the chance to speak.
I'm speaking right now.
I just feel like it's a very, very, very severe and unfortunate case of internalized misogyny, and
Well, you're being misogynist. You're saying we should kill all these female babies.
that's
What
not
about
what-
those women?
Ma'am, that's not what I'm saying. I would never.
Biologically, scientifically, life begins at conception, and we know that those are female babies. So why are you allowing them to be
Listen, just
killed?
listen,
What about
okay?
them? They
Just
can't
listen.
speak for themselves.
I'm just
You're
giving
picking
a
on
moment.
couples. That sounds like a bully to me.
Ma'am, I am sorry on behalf of the men in your life who have not given you a chance to be pro-women, pro-feminist, pro-women's rights, and
I
have given you
actually
the
grew up
mindset.
with my mom who grew up from poverty and became a millionaire, and she is one of
I'm
the
proud
most
of her.
badass women I've ever met in my entire life. So I have no misogyny inside of me. I'm simply speaking up for those who can't speak for themselves. So why don't you stop being ignorant and arrogant and speaking on behalf of me and answer my questions?
Man,
Look
that
up.
really
Look it up.
hurts. Again, you need to give me a moment. Again, please don't say things like that because it really hurts. You got to understand that I do so much to.
Well, I care about facts. Why don't you go look it up?
Right. Here's what you're not
Okay,
understanding.
so
okay?
let's move on to the next point. You said that you value consciousness. So would you value someone who is brain dead, who is on life support, right? Who is not going to have any future consciousness, but because they had past experiences, they're more valuable than a baby in the womb? Would you value them more than a baby in the womb?
You're just not giving me the chance to speak, and I really don't.
You're speaking right now. Answer the question, yes or no. You told me yes or no, so you answer yes or no.
You're
Would you
getting very
value
upset.
someone
Raya,
who was brain dead
please.
because they had past
Please
consciousness?
just understand, okay? You're gonna understand, okay? There's a difference between past, present, and future in conjunction, and a difference between just the capacity for future, okay? When I value one and not the other, that would basically make your argument null. And you got to understand that as a feminist, I've got to protect women, and especially if we're forcing women to bring, babies to term when it can harm their socioeconomic, environment, it can harm their livelihood. Especially that we observe the studies show that women who who have to carry the baby to term tend to have worse environments, more higher crime rates, especially if they're giving birth to men who make up the majority of assaults.
So are we saying that women who are under financial struggle, such as poverty, that those babies, that offspring from them, get less rights than women who are privileged? Are we saying we should kill
What I
people?
said, but we've got to be acknowledging.
Let me finish. I let you finish. Are we saying that we should kill people based off of their financial circumstance? Should we go and kill everyone who's homeless? Answer the question.
Please, just let me speak. Just give me a moment. And
Speaking right now, you keep repeating the same thing over and over, but yet
You're
you
not
are
letting me
not
speak.
answering the
I
question.
can't get to the point if you won't let me speak. Okay, just listen. All right. Okay. Listen, man. You got to understand is that I have a tremendous amount of respect for women. I want to help them, which is why I set up this whole live. It was to educate people on women's rights, how to treat women, and how exactly we can help women, in life. Help women in the workplace, how they can treat them.
Oh, you want to help women in life? Have you donated to any women?
I have actually. I donate.
Name the charity.
It's
Name
like
the charity.
yeah, it's like
Name the charity.
just let me speak. It's like a feminist tithe for me. Basically, I donate a percentage of everything that I earn to women's charities, women's especially of great victims. Hope not
Name the
hate.
charity.
Hope Not Hate, for example, in the UK is a very big one. It's to help women who are victims of domestic abuse. That's basically, it's like a tithe for me. It's like when people give a tithe to the church, it's like my tithe to organizations that help women who are in places where they're, in distress or they're in trouble. And so you got to understand that I've done so much for them. And so when you come here and you start speaking in a
You've done
masculinity.
so much for women, but yet you right off the bat say that I have internalized misogyny and said that men in my life have been horrible to me, even though you know nothing about me. That sounds like a man trying to talk
No,
over a
ma'am.
woman,
Please, just
doesn't it?
understand. Ma'am, just understand is that it very much hurts. When I've done so much for women, for the women in my life, it really hurts when you do that. And number two is that again, you got to understand is that the reason why I say you have internalized misogyny is because I don't genuinely believe that if you were raised in a place where you understood the struggles that women went through and how much they fought for,
I don't understand the struggles that
that you
women
would
go through, but
still
yet I'm a
believe these
woman. That
things.
makes no sense.
That you would still believe these things. And listen, I'm so sorry, but I just had to move on. It hurts me to have to remove you. It really does hurt me to have to remove you. I'm sorry, but I tried to help you. Okay, I really did. Guys, double tap the screen. It's just impossible. Hey, how old are you? How old are you? Hello? Hello? Okay. All right, let's move to the next person, guys. Double tap the screen. If you want to be added on, make sure you're 18 years old and above, and make sure you disagree with these statements up here. Hey, how old are you?
I'm 19.
What do you want to debate?
Abortion is a right.
One moment. Rejoin back. I want to, give someone else a chance to join. Double tap the screen, everyone. Yeah, that was difficult. That wasn't easy to do. Hey, how old are you?
I'm 19.
All right, what do you want to debate, my dear boy?
Probably abortion is a right.
Okay, why do you disagree with women's rights?
What I want to start with is, what do you define as a right?
Okay, again, when we look at rights and when we observe rights, what we're talking about is, especially we can see that they can be legally and institutionally protected, such as, a woman's right to be able to do certain things, women's right to vote. I think it's the 17th Amendment in the US. I'm not from the US, so,
Oh, you're not?
look at that. No, so yeah, I think it's one of the amendments to the right for women to vote. And so these are some, and so, that's basically it. Yeah, I'll add you on in a moment, Miss Andrew. Anyways, yeah, what else do you have to say?
Yeah, because I was kind of going to get in a bit of a U.S. legal perspective, so I guess I'll try to.
Well, listen, we can do that in a little later. Just that I'm not trying to do that right now. So yeah, just request and I'll add you in a bit later. Hey, I think your mic's muted. Okay, there we go.
Thanks for having me. I'm 30 something, and I wanted to come up when I know you're doing a great job. I'm glad that I came across your live today. I love seeing men learning how to decenter themselves and being an example on how to center and empower women. That being said, I think there's one thing from a personal experience that people just don't know about or don't often consider when they're talking about the rights of fetuses. I am a survivor of choriocarcinoma, which is a very rare type of cancer that can only be caused by somebody ejaculating inside of me. That's a rare type of cancer. It comes from a molar pregnancy, which is a rare type of miscarriage. Sometimes those types of molar pregnancies can be viable. Mine was unfortunately not. But when people want to throw the argument around that these fetuses have rights, quite literally, if I were to get pregnant again, my cancer could come back. And while it is rare, it affects millions of women around the world. So simply the biological process of experiencing pregnancy can put a woman's life in danger from the very from conception. So when you're talking about prioritizing women like that uneducated woman was on the panel, you are actually discounting the lives of women that are existing and are capable of continuing to procreate in the future. You're literally diminishing their ability to fulfill their goals for their own lives by prioritizing a fetus that is not breathing, not living, does not need resources, but this person carrying that fetus does. And I'd love an opportunity to educate. Semen can cause cancer. You don't have to like that to be true, but it can. So I really hope that people consider that if you're on the fence on whether or not to keep fucking with men, just know that the little swimmers can give you cancer and it's a lifelong condition.
Well, thank you very much. That was very informative. I appreciate
Thank you for
you.
having me. Keep up the work.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And truthfully, I really hope you guys were listening, because I know a lot of people who, come in here and they don't actually understand what, is being said. So I do hope you were listening and that you do understand that, and that these are serious effects that do affect women. And so it's very important to be aware of that. And I think with any other group of people, if this was an issue, I think you'd be fine. But for some reason, when it's women, you seem to not care, or you seem to brush it off, or you seem to think it's not a serious thing. And it's truly sad. And I do hope that you eventually get over that. So I appreciate Miss Andrew coming on and explaining that. And I really hope you guys